Okay, let's untack this. Welcome to the deep dive, where we try and cut through the noise, get right to what's really going on. Today, we're plunging into those swirling rumors and finally the confirmations around Max Verstappen's future in Formula One. We've got a stack of recent reports, expert takes, pretty much hot off the press to give you the clearest picture we can.
Absolutely. And our mission here, it's really more than just confirming the headlines you might have seen. We want to show you the intricate layers, the decision-making, those surprising contract clauses, quite audacious, really, and the strategic implications, too. It makes this whole thing much more than a simple signing. This deep dive is for you, the listener, to get beyond those sound bites, understand the F1 chessboard moves. It's complex stuff.
It really is. High-stakes chessboard is right. So let's set the scene. This whole Cool Braun that's like a saga, right? A dramatic saga. It really heated up before the Belgian Grand Prix. You had Max Verstappen with this, rock-solid Red Bull contract until 2028. Seems crazy, but the whispers about his future just kept growing louder and louder, like a whole separate battle off track.
And the main reason you really can't deny it was the perceived performance or lack of it from the Red Bull RB21. It just wasn't consistently matching the McLaren. That left Max, a four-time champ, used to dominating, maybe feeling like his options were limited for the championship fight. It's striking, isn't it? How fast things change in F1. Red Bull looked unbeatable. Now suddenly there are question marks casting a shadow. Really shows that what have you done for me lately vibe in the sport. And those performance warriors. They made a move to Mercedes seem, not just possible, but almost logical to some people. I mean, everyone knows Toto Wolff at Mercedes has always wanted Max. It's not exactly a secret. He tried to sign him way back as a teenager, right? Offer him an F1 seat directly. That history, that long-standing interest, it definitely added fuel to the fire.
Precisely. And the whole Mercedes seat speculation got even hotter because George Russell's contract, wasn't renewed yet beyond 2025. That left a kind of question mark hanging there, didn't it?
Right.
Let the press and the F1 blogs run wild with scenarios. It's classic F1, really. One unconfirmed detail, especially involving a driver like Verstappen, and boom, the rumor mill just explodes.
But it wasn't just the car performance, was it? This is F1. There's always politics, power plays. There was this other factor simmering behind the scenes. Reported unhappiness from the Verstappen camp about Christian Horner's power at Red Bull. And apparently this wasn't just a small disagreement. It was a key reason why they were even looking at that contract clause as a way out. Imagine that. You're dominating, top of your game, but maybe feeling uneasy about the power structure in your own team. That's quite a situation.
That's a really critical point. You have to remember, Christian Horner was there from the very start, 2005. Team principal for 2 decades. He built that team, multiple championships. That kind of tenure, it naturally concentrates a lot of power within the team, in the paddock. So when you hear reports of discontent from your star driver's inner circle, especially that star driver, it forces the team's hand. It suggests things got pretty strained, maybe so strained that something drastic had to give to keep him.
And what happened next was, pretty much unprecedented for Red Bull. They're known for strong leadership, right? But they made this move, you could call it desperate, maybe?
Yeah.
Dismissing Horner after 20 years. 20 years. That's not just changing managers. It's a huge signal, a seismic shift. Shows the pressure they felt, the lengths they'd go to. Makes you wonder what was really going on internally for them to make such a public move to appease Max.
Exactly. And they brought in Laurent MEKIES, formerly with AlphaTauri, to replace him. Now, that seemed quite strategic because the word is Max Verstappen has a decent working relationship with MEKIES. So bringing him in, rather than some outside big name, looked like a move designed specifically to stabilize things for Max, settle the waters. It really underlines the influence drivers like him have now. They're not just employees. Their preferences can shape the whole leadership team.
Okay, so this is where it got really juicy. The paddock was holding its breath. Let's talk about that escape clause. The rumors became reality. Imagine having that kind of leverage. This clause, we now know, said Verstappen could leave if he wasn't top 3 in the championship by the summer break. That's incredible power, right? Tying your future directly to the team, hitting those top marks. Not just winning, but being consistently right there, or you have an out.
And now we know for sure that clause cannot be activated this season. The maths just worked out. Spa-Francorchamps was the key weekend. He won the sprint, got 8 points there, then 4th in the main race, another 12 points. So 20 points total. That, plus his existing lead, just put him mathematically out of reach for dropping below third before the Hungaroring race, the last one before the break. If you look at the points, he's on 185. George Russell in fourth is on 157. Even if Russell got max points next time, it wouldn't be enough. It was close, maybe a bit of a nail-biter in theory, but yeah, he sealed it on track.
And the confirmation followed almost immediately,
Right.
super quick, like hours after the Dutch press started reporting it. Dr. Helmut Marko, Red Bull's advisor, never one to mince words. He just came out and said it publicly. Max Verstappen is staying for 2026. He's not going to Mercedes. End of story, or at least end of that chapter. Just like that, door closed, no big press conference fanfare, just a clear statement. Done.
Right. And that immediate clarity, well, it leads to the next question, doesn't it? The immediate future is settled. But does this really mean the whole Verstappen saga is over for good? The short answer is probably not entirely. This is Formula One. There's always a longer game being played.
Which brings us nicely to what we're calling the long game, 2026 and beyond. And there's a huge asterisk here, because 2026 is not just another season. It's massive.
Yeah.
The technical regulations get a complete overhaul. We're talking totally new cars, new aero, and critically, new power units, new engines. And the kicker for Red Bull, they're not just buying an engine. They're making their own in partnership with Ford. That is a colossal task, a huge engineering gamble. Could make them champions again, or leave them struggling. It's the ultimate test.
And this is where that conditional commitment comes in. This is the crucial caveat. Sources are saying if Red Bull doesn't hit the key, basically, if they don't get the 2026 regs right, if that new engine isn't competitive, then Max Verstappen will have the freedom to choose his team for 2027. So if you connect the dots, this isn't some unconditional long-term loyalty pledge beyond performance, no way. It's more like a strategic alliance. And it all hinges on Red Bull delivering a winning package under the new rules. It just highlights the power these top drivers have now. Performance clauses like that, it's basically saying deliver or I'm gone.
So what about Mercedes in all this? They were obviously interested, very interested. Who wouldn't be? But Toto Wolff, he stated publicly in Belgium, their main plan is sticking with George Russell and Kimi Antonelli. Sounds like a sensible plan B, maybe. Playing it cautious given the uncertainty, but perhaps also just acknowledging that getting Max, well, it might be a long shot, or at least something they have to wait for.
Exactly. And think about George Russell's contract. It ends after 2025. The expectation now is he'll sign a 1+1 deal. So 2 years on paper, but with flexibility for a move in 2027 if Verstappen becomes available. That's quite a strategic play for Mercedes, isn't it? Puts Russell in a slightly odd spot, maybe, signing a deal where you might just be keeping the seat warm. It strongly suggests Mercedes is keeping its options wide open. They're anticipating that Great Melon will reopen, as the Spanish press might say, or the door swings open if Red Bull stumbles in 26. Smart move for them, really. Pragmatic, ready to jump if the chance arises.
And Max himself, his own words are interesting. He talked about needing to learn things this year because the cars in 2026 will be completely different. That really shows his focus, doesn't it, on the future performance, the development of Red Bull. He's not just thinking race to race. Plus, he seems genuinely happier with MEKIES in charge now. That internal change seems to have been a big factor in him staying put, at least for now. He wants stability, sure, but it's stability tied to competitive guarantees. So what's the bottom line here for you listening? What does it all mean? Key takeaway: Max Verstappen's immediate future, that's sorted. He's with Red Bull for 2026. That happened because of those big internal team changes, the management shift, and frankly, his own brilliance on track stopping that clause being triggered. And it's a big but the longer-term commitment. That completely depends on Red Bull nailing the 2026 regulations and, crucially, that new engine project with Ford.
Yeah, this whole episode really just throws a spotlight on the incredible leverage a top driver like Verstappen has in F1 today. He's more than a driver. He can influence management, keep his future options open, all based on that relentless need for performance. And it also just hammers home the huge gamble every team is taking with these 2026 regs. It's massive. Get it right, you could dominate. Get it wrong, well, it could be a long way back.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How much does old-fashioned loyalty even count in modern F1 compared to just raw performance? And does this constant pressure, even on a champion like Max, make the sport more exciting or just more volatile? Something for you to consider. But what does this constant dance mean for everyone else on the grid? How are other teams and drivers navigating this landscape? The next few years, definitely not going to be predictable. Could all hinge on a single engine design. Fascinating stuff.